Rain needled the city. Neon buzzed over a half-empty diner where the coffee smelled like burnt caramel and second chances. The doorbell chimed, and a man in a dark coat stepped in, shaking water from his cuffs. Robert Hale, billionaire, CEO. The kind of name that made headlines and boardrooms sit up straighter. He didn't look like a headline now. He looked tired, human. He slid into booth 3, facing the window where red taillights smeared into ribbons. A waitress approached with a pot of coffee balanced like a crown. Her name tag said Sophia. Her hands trembled. Not the little kind of tremble. Not the cold kind. A deep-in-the-bones shake that made the spoon clink against the rim. "You okay?" Robert asked, gentle. "Your hands." Sophia blinked. "They do that." She tried to smile. Failed. The pot rattled. Coffee sizzled on metal. She reached for napkins, breathing slowly as if counting steps across a cliff. A beat of silence. Diner hum. Wipers hissed outside. Plates whispered in the kitchen where John, the night cook, hummed off key and slid fries into oil. At the corner table, Evelyn, the owner with silver hair and warm eyes, folded paper cranes for anyone who looked like they needed hope. Robert set his phone face down. "May I ask why?" Sophia's throat worked. She stared at her hands as if they belonged to someone braver. "Because I'm waiting for a call," she said. "From the hospital." A thin hush fell over the booth. Even the neon seemed to listen. "My daughter," she whispered. "Emma. She's 7. Her heart doesn't keep time. They said if a donor becomes available tonight, they'll call. If it doesn't, we keep waiting." Have you ever waited like that? Counting breaths? Fearing the ring? Robert's mouth opened, closed. He knew too well the way waiting could bruise a soul. "I'm sorry." Sophia nodded like apology was a language she understood. "It's not pity I can't hold. It's hope." She poured at last. The stream steadied, but the cup still chattered softly on the saucer. "I can't take my break," she added. A tiny laugh that wasn't a laugh. "Bills don't wait. Emergencies don't tip." A TV muttered about storms. The windows trembled as a gust shoved rain sideways. Evelyn brought a plate. "Sugar helps?" she said softly, setting down 2 lemon bars. "And so do people." "Thank you," Sophia murmured, then turned back to Robert. "You asked why my hands shake." Her eyes lifted, and for a second the tremble paused. "It's because every time the phone lights up, I need to be ready to say yes to a second chance." Robert swallowed. His voice thinned. "What hospital?" "City Heart Center," she said. "Dr. John Patel is on call." The bell over the door jangled. A paramedic in a drenched jacket waved through the glass. "Michael, a friend," then jogged on, sirens swelling somewhere beyond the wet street. The city held its breath. Robert's phone vibrated. Unknown number. Sophia's eyes locked on the glowing screen. The lemon bar trembled on its plate. He turned the screen so she could see. "Should I answer?" he asked. The bell's echo faded. Outside, rain slowed to a hush as if the whole night leaned closer. Sophia's lips parted. "Please." He tapped accept. "Wrong number," the voice said. A clipped apology. Click. The line went dead. Sophia didn't exhale right away. She pressed her napkin flat with shaking fingers and stared at nothing until breaths remembered how to exist. Then a soft, "Okay." Like a stitch closing. "I hate that sound," she said. "The click. It feels like a door I can't even knock on." Robert couldn't look away from the tremor that kept returning like a tide. "Tell me about Emma," he said. "If you want. She loves rainbows. Hates thunder. Says the machines at the hospital sound like whales singing. She knows all the nurses by name. Dr. John says she's brave. I say she's 7. Where is she now?" "In the pediatric ward. Michael, he's a paramedic neighbor, drove me there when she fainted last month. He calls her Tiny Titan. He wanted me off nights, but..." She glanced at the tip jar. "Emma hears me in the hallway and says, 'Hi, Mommy.' Then she tells me to go work hard and buy her the biggest blue balloon in the world." Robert's throat tightened. The storm tapped its fingers on the glass. "And the wait list?" Long, she said. And expensive. There's a deposit for surgery pre-ops I'm still short on. We don't jump the line. We pray. We listen. We stay ready. She swallowed. I'm not asking you for anything. You look like someone with too many asks already. She noticed his watch, his careful suit. You're someone who signs yes and no a lot. I can tell. Evelyn refilled water and squeezed Sophia's shoulder, the quiet kind of blessing. The diner held its breath. I know City Heart, Robert said. My company funds a research wing there. Sophia's eyes flickered. You're with Hale Medical? He nodded. Thank you for the machines, she said simply. They beep a little prettier. Something in Robert softened and hurt at the same time. Would you allow me to make a call? Not to push. To make sure money isn't the thing that decides what happens when the call does come. Sophia studied him. Please don't offer unless you mean it. Hope can bruise. I mean it, he said and dialed. He turned toward the window. John? It's Robert. Yes, I know the hour. There's a little girl named Emma. Tiny Titan. I don't want to touch the list. I want to remove anything made of money. If a compassionate use LVAD is appropriate, make it ready. And make sure she isn't alone. Rain ticked. Thank you, Robert said, and ended the call. Sophia waited, hands folded like wings. What did he say? He said to stay reachable. He said you'll get a call if something shifts tonight. Midnight is loud, she said. Phones go quiet. Then the world decides again. Do you ever count to 60 and bargain with the next minute? Every day, Robert said. If you could say one thing to the person who decides, what would it be? That I'll do the rest, she answered herself. I'll sit through nights and storms. I'll teach her to be kind. Just give me the yes. He nodded, a tiny oath. Stay reachable, he repeated. We're close. Close is the scariest word, Sophia said. It smells like hope. What would you do if it were your child? She asked. I'd sit exactly where you are, he said. And I'd answer every unknown number. A siren wound close and stopped outside the hospital across the street. Sophia looked at the door, the rain, the phone. What shifted? The diner lights flickered. Darkness, then glow. The neon steadied. Sophia pressed her palms to the table. Her hands trembled harder now, the way branches shake when wind finds them. Robert felt an old ache move through him. Years ago, a boy named Michael lay in an hour while a storm swallowed sirens. Robert had held his mother's coat and learned how waiting can break a person. There'd been no device then, no bridge to the next sunrise. The boy never came home. That loss became the reason he built what he built. You're not alone, he said. Evelyn brought a towel for Sophia's damp sleeves. Eat, she said, setting down soup. I've seen miracles make people faint. Sophia laughed. A tiny lamp in a dark room. I can't taste when I'm scared. Robert looked at the hospital glowing like a ship. He pictured Dr. John in green scrubs, phone warm against his ear, scanning charts. Rooms where beeps stood in for lullabies. A little girl teaching machines to sing like whales. What did you lose? Sophia asked softly. You talk like someone who knows the waiting. My brother, Michael, 16. We didn't have what we have now. I'm sorry, she said. Before he could answer, the bell over the door shook. The paramedic, Michael, the neighbor, appeared, soaked. Sophia, he said. The charge nurse asked if you're nearby. Something's moving. Sophia stood. Is it? Not a heart yet, Michael said. But Dr. John wants consent for a bridge device. A new model just cleared emergency use. It buys time. Sophia looked at Robert. It's ours, he said. Keep small hearts steady while they wait. She gripped the booth. Silence. Will it hurt her? Like a hard nap, Michael said. Tubing. Beeps. But she keeps waiting. Okay, Sophia whispered. I'll sign. Evelyn pressed a paper crane into her palm. For steady hands. They pushed into the night. The street smelled like rain. A siren shot past. On the hospital steps, Sophia turned. Thank you, she said. Right now, you're the man who didn't look away. Then let me not look away a little longer. Robert said. Automatic doors parted. Warm air. A nurse lifted a clipboard. Sophia. Yes. She took the pen. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She swiped. Hello. Dr. John's voice. Careful. We have news. What news? You need to hear this in person. The elevator chimed open. They moved fast but not frenzied. The kind of pace fear chooses when it remembers manners. In the elevator, Sophia stared at her reflection and raised her hands. The tremble ran through her like a small earthquake finishing its sentence. If this works, she whispered, I'll buy her 2 balloons. One for now, one for later. Is that silly? It's a plan, Robert said. Plans are anchors. Michael thumbed a text to the charge nurse. We have consent incoming, he typed, then looked up. You're not alone, he echoed Robert. The doors opened to a hallway washed in hush. A volunteer rolled a cart of books with a sign. Take hope. Return stories. Sophia touched the sign like a good luck charm. Do you pray? She asked softly. Sometimes, Robert said. Mostly I promise. And then I try to keep it. That counts, she said. And when the elevator chimed again, she squared her shoulders as if stepping onto a stage she never auditioned for but was born to stand on. The elevator carried them to ICU. Soft lights. Posters with bright cartoon hearts. Doors slid open. Monitors pulsed. Dr. John Patel met them in the corridor, eyes kind and awake. We're prepping Emma for the LVAD, he said. There's more. Sophia's fingers found the paper crane. More. A donor heart just became available. Pediatric. Positive. Preliminary match, he said. Sophia swayed. Michael steadied her. Silence. Is it real? We never promise until we're sure, John said. But it looks promising. The LVAD will bridge her safely until the surgical team confirms. Can I see her? 2 minutes. Then we roll. In a room of breathing machines, a small figure slept. Stickers marched along the bed rail. Rainbows, whales, a tiny blue balloon. Emma's chest rose in shallow lifts. Hi, tiny titan, Sophia whispered. Mommy's here. Blue balloon. Biggest in the world, she said, kissing her forehead. Robert stepped back, out of the way, pulse louder than the monitors. He typed quickly, authorization to cover costs, a standing order for meals, childcare help. No names, just yes. John returned. Time. Hallway. Double doors. Bright light. The smell of scrubs. Sophia signed consent. The pen only shook once. The LVAD is a bridge, John said. If the donor heart is confirmed, we proceed. If not, we keep her safe and waiting. She nodded. I'm holding hope and fear. Emma's bed rolled past. Tiny fingers curled around the crane. The doors breathed open and closed. On the other side, steady hands and beeping. In the family lounge, rain crawled down glass. A coffee machine purred. Sophia stared at her hands. They're not shaking, she said. Why? Because you decided, Michael said. Sometimes our bodies tremble when the soul is stuck between doors. Robert leaned forward. Don't worry about work. Evelyn banned your apron until you cry happy tears on it. That drew a laugh. A nurse peeked in. They've placed the bridge, she said. Vitals steady. Waiting has choreography. Walk, sit, stand, sip, breathe, repeat. The wall clock clicked like a metronome. Sophia rubbed the paper crane smooth at the creases, then unfolded it and folded it back, as if rebuilding something in miniature taught the hands to believe bigger repairs were possible. Why did your company build the bridge? She asked. Because a boy I loved fell between moments, he said. I wanted to build a moment that catches other people. She nodded once, as if receiving a baton. Then let's run. Time stretched. John appeared, cap in hand, eyes shining. Everyone stood before he spoke. Viable, he said. Full match. We're going to transplant. Sophia's knees buckled. Michael caught her. Robert shut his eyes for one heartbeat that felt like a lifetime. When? She asked. Now, John said. It begins. He disappeared back through the doors. The surgery light blinked from red to white to red. Hours stretched. Minutes clung. And then, dawn silvered the clouds. The surgery light clicked to green. The doors sighed open. Dr. John Patel stepped out and smiled. "She's strong," he said. "The heart is singing." Sophia's hands flew to her mouth. Soundless tears. Michael wrapped her in a huge hug. Robert's chest loosened like a knot letting go. "You'll see her soon," John said. "She'll sleep. She'll wake. She'll ask for that blue balloon." He looked at Robert for a second, thanks without a speech. In recovery, Emma lay pink-cheeked. A tiny war won on her chest. Beeps nested around her like patient birds. Sophia touched her daughter's fingers and whispered one long word made of many. "Thank you." Evelyn arrived with sandwiches and eyes that had definitely cried. "Sit," she ordered gently. Heroes faint when they forget. Robert stood by the window. No cameras. No stage. Just a morning becoming possible. Sophia approached. "Mr. Hale," she said. "Why did you help?" He searched for the simplest true thing. "Because someone didn't help my family when they could have," he said. "And because I know what waiting does." He glanced at Emma. "And because she is 7 and likes whales." Sophia smiled. "You should know I wasn't trembling because you're a billionaire," she said. "People like you walk in and out and I refill their coffee. I was trembling because I promised Emma I'd say yes. I was scared I'd miss it. I was scared Hope would ring and I wouldn't pick up." The answer landed in him like a bell finding its note. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Evelyn clapped once. "Who's getting the biggest blue balloon?" "On it," Michael said, already moving. Days later, the room grew brighter every morning. Emma learned to yawn around the tangle of wires. She asked nurses tiny scientist questions. She requested whale songs. She made John a rainbow drawing with a blue balloon the size of a planet. She pressed a paper crane into Robert's palm. "For when you're scared," she said. On discharge day, the doors parted like pages. Outside, the sky was clear as a promise. Robert walked beside Sophia and Emma. Just 3 people and a balloon that bumped gently against the sun. At the curb, Sophia stopped him. "I can't repay you," she said, then corrected herself. "I can. Not with money. With time. I'll spend it well." "That's all I ever wanted," he said. "I'm setting up a community fund at the diner." Evelyn already said yes. "You'll run it. Quiet help. You decide." Sophia's eyes widened. "You trust me?" "I watched you carry Hope like a fragile glass and a fierce torch," he said. "I trust you." Emma tugged his sleeve. "Do billionaires get scared?" "All the time," Robert said. "We just try to keep our hands steady when we answer the phone." They laughed. The balloon tugged free, rose, and became a bright dot. For a moment, everyone craned back, squinting at a small blue planet floating away. "What do you see up there?" Sophia asked. "A yes," Emma said, and the city answered with morning sounds. The hiss of buses, the coo of pigeons, the clink of cups, like a heartbeat learning a new rhythm. Have you ever held your breath waiting for a call that could change everything? If you were Robert in that booth or Sophia in that storm, what small, steady yes would you offer someone tonight?